so fucking true.
Okay. Oh shit, I forgot to turn off the sound for the TV. I thought the Spyro soundtrack was fucked, but turns out that it's just, Oh, I cursed on the first minute! YouTube, I'm sorry, don't penalize us. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to curse the first minute.
I think mine was this time. No correct thing.
But yeah.
Oh yeah.
Your sound is fine? Can you say things?
I already did, just did not. While I was singing my stupid song.
Your sound is fine? Say things? Yeah, okay. There's a little bit of echo, but it's fine. Right? Okay, welcome everybody. This is the Cyber Couch Hangout. I don't know what episode it is, so I just put on Twitch, just chillin'. But if you're watching on YouTube,
Anarchy01 says hi.
Hey, who is this? Hi. Oh, I remember. This is it's one of my students. Hold on, we played Valorant a few days ago.
Cool.
Introduce yourself.
How was Valorant, by the way?
Do that. Valorant's great.
Did you enjoy it?
I like it a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah, I enjoy it.
Nice.
Yeah, we're just chilling tonight. The game doesn't matter that much. That's not the goal. The goal is just to talk shit and games running in the background. But yeah, who is Anarchies? Because you know what's the problem, man? These kids, they got oh, it's boss. Great, thank you, boss. Which one? I have like 4 different boss in the students. Boss from 5/5, 6/1, 6/3, 6/7, 6/5. Which boss? So they have their regular Thai name, which I never, very rarely I know. But they have their Thai nicknames, right? And I got 90 students. And then I have to... I know a few of them. Actually, I know maybe more than half.
6/7.
Ah, 6/7. See, I knew that it was possibly from 6/7.
Number 1.
Number 1, yes. So he's not just the boss; he's also number 1.
Wow, Luigi, number 1.
And dude, I get so confused because when we play Valorant together, I don't know who's who sometimes,
Sure.
Because they have different nicknames on the games as well.
Gamer tags.
Which I feel is totally fine. So they work with 3 different nicknames. Actually, you know what that's like, don't you? Mr. Dagon Keldrum, aka Loplo, aka Lolo, aka Vasco Ray, aka... yourself as well.
The daddy of all dragons.
The daddy of all dragons, exactly. Don't ask who's your mommy, ask who's your daddy. Loplo is your daddy.
So yes, what's happening here?
Yes, indeed. I don't know.
This is the
man.
remake of the first game, right? Or not a remake, but a remaster or whatever.
The remaster.
Okay.
I would say it's a remake, but not a reboot. It's a remake. Because you're not trying to launch the franchise again. It's just
been literally more than 2 decades since I've seen this game. But yes,
well, you saw it when we did the last.
We talked a lot about a bunch of nonsense, but tell me, you've been watching some Marvel movies and stuff.
Yeah.
And Marvel series. How's that going?
Going great. I love it. We talked about my disappointment of Winter Soldier in the other Activist Simulator stream, the last one.
Your disappointment of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the series on Disney+.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not as a whole, but just the lack. Yeah. Just the lack of what do you call it? The waste of good source material, right?
Since you are a comic book reader from
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
the source material,
But even
there's
even
stuff
as
you would have
a
wished to see portrayed differently.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but even not as a reader, I mean, like I told you, but that's like just my own bias in a way. I wish that they had made it more flashy and stuff, but I know that stuff costs money, so I can't really blame the MCU for
How about
not
have
giving
you
me the
finished
submarine
Loki?
scene.
And what was the other movie you said?
No, I'm on my third episode. Okay, so Loki so far, right?
Uh-huh.
At first, I was like, who are these idiots with these fucking goofy jumpsuits,
Yeah.
shitty cosplay
Yeah.
in the middle of the desert again? Marvel, if you throw me more shit in the desert, we'll get to that in a minute, I'm gonna get upset. I know it's cheap to film in the desert, but still, stop it. Stop it. I'm tired of people in the desert. But once I got past that, and I took it for what it was, the whole time thing, and they know they're corny because they address it. That's always the trick, right? Is to address shit when it's corny and silly. So kudos on them. Dude, when Owen Wilson showed up, I lost my shit.
In a good way?
I had no idea. No, in a good way. I was like, Owen Wilson, no fucking way. And he plays a role that's not really himself, except for when he's trying to convince the lady to keep Loki around. He's doing great. I was like, yes, that's the Owen Wilson that we grew up with. Then he's playing Owen Wilson as himself. Anyway, I really like I'm enjoying Loki a lot. Like when they showed when he gets arrested, and they show him that weird cartoon thingy, you know.
Yeah.
Plus the first time you see the Infinity Stones at the office, all that stuff for me was just, this is great. Like I really like it. I like that now there's like several different Lokis for different timelines, I guess. And it's about time travel, but they don't fuck with it too much.
Have you seen Umbrella Academy on Netflix?
Yes, I did. Yeah. First and
did
second
nothing
season.
of it kind of reminded you of it?
A little bit, but the vibe of the universe is so different.
Okay.
Yeah, but the vibe of the universe is so different that for me it didn't bother me.
But for me, it's how you flesh out your fantasy or your science fiction. Like this trope.
Nah, it doesn't
of
go in the same box for
using
me.
50s or 60s technologies for a sci-fi setting. I am like, okay, whatever. It's not my favorite, but
I didn't pay attention to it. So
yeah, sometimes I get small, like these small details.
Yeah, the whole Americana thing.
I
just
try
like in,
to close my inner snob douche or whatever.
Yeah, but that's exactly what I do the moment those things show up. I'm like, okay, I know this is the type of aesthetic background, so let's just like leave it at that, it's fine. Because it's the same shit, look, it's not a big selling point for me.
In little details, then you're just souring the experience for yourself for no reason.
Exactly. That's exactly why I don't mind it when it's in Fallout. And
I got you, boo.
Outer Worlds. And also, what other places did you see
Outer
that
Worlds.
as well?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I said. Outer Worlds is the same shit.
I just finished the game this morning.
BioShock as well.
That's shit, though. But okay. Yeah.
No, but it's the same. You know what I mean, right?
It's how you. For me, there's a big difference.
Aesthetic.
How you use the aesthetic. How the.
Yes,
how you
that's why I don't mind it.
The aesthetic, if it fits well to the concept or idea, if it makes sense.
In this one, for me, it makes
or
sense.
Or if it just makes
because
it
a lot
really
of
enjoyable, right?
Yeah, that as well. For me, it makes sense because of the whole administration, ultra bureaucratized environment of the time travel agency or whatever they're called, the TVA, right?
The TVA, yeah.
The TVA, which for me just breaks my brain because for me TVA is the taxe valeur ajoutée. It's the added value tax, so it messes with me. But otherwise, I think I really like Loki. I think it's a pretty cool TV show. I like that they took it to the direction of comedy. I'll be honest.
Out of the
Spoiler
three
alert.
series, it's the
Cover
one
your ears.
I didn't know what to expect.
Yes, same here. Yeah. I think that's why I'm enjoying it.
I won't say much because you still need to finish the series.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil for people. But there's a certain point, let's just say, in the beginning, there's a character that appears who's a lady, right?
There's a protagonist, there's an
There's a protagonist.
There's an inciting incident.
Yeah, and who's a lady, and at first I was a bit like, what the fuck? But now I don't mind, it's fine. It's fine. You know the one I'm talking about, right? Okay. And it's fine, and I really like the whole
I was as well
sentimental
really
and emotional
that
thing.
Catwoman showed up in Loki. I cannot believe that they decided to do that crossover.
Yeah, Catwoman, sure. There's Xena in X for those who are wondering.
Oh right, I had forgotten about her. Yeah, Xena. She just showed up out of nowhere.
Defeat 11 enemies to activate the Super Flame power-up. The power-up between the two pyramids around platform. Okay. I hope you guys remember that. So yeah, I'm really enjoying Loki so
Do people
far.
still know who Xena is?
I don't think so. I think it's a very... I think it's a product of our time. Shitty fantasy TV.
Oof.
But because Xena was like that, shitty in retrospect, I loved it.
In production value, maybe, yeah.
In production value,
And
not as
some
much.
of the writing was very
lazy, on a
cheesy.
schedule, aimed at kids. Sure.
Or
by the way, just so you know, Loplo, my dear friend, cunt, I put Xena in the same category as... No, the other way around. I put Buffy in the same category as Xena.
No.
And Hercules.
No.
Yes,
no.
I do.
Buffy is 100 times better. 1,000 times
I'm not
better.
gonna disagree with you. I'm just saying they're in the same category for me.
They're not. They're really not. Buffy the Vampire Slayer is like on a different stratosphere. Xena doesn't even touch it.
From your perspective, I totally see what you mean.
And from academics' perspective, like it's all about
From the
character
common
development.
sense perspective.
Yes, the Academy of Television Series Sciences of
Council.
whatever. Yes.
Yeah, one of the things that we disagree on is Buffy. But yeah, so like those series, not Buffy in this case, because Buffy is objectively like very good. Just not for everyone, but it is very
definitely
good.
Not. No.
I mean, the writing in Buffy is so good that it actually... I've
still
read
Joss Whedon.
Buffy the Vampire books too.
Interesting.
Yeah, one of the first books I read in English was Buffy the Vampire.
Yes,
Story.
you told me that.
Yeah,
a while
where they
ago.
go into the underworld with demons and stuff. It's fantasy, pretty much. You know, it's just that on TV it looks like shit. But in the book, when your mind does the work, it's really cool, actually. And you get the best of the story, right? And the writing and the dialogue.
Fantasy and science fiction, like, you need money for that. Or just a very clever budget crew. Like, sometimes low-budget science fiction can work really well, because it's just a question of cinematography and lighting. And a very clever costume department and set dressing department. How you can use environments in a sci-fi-ish way. But fantasy is still the hardest thing to do on TV and film. Like if you have animation or computer animation, like 3D as opposed to 2D, it's still nowadays more viable than live action, because just count on your hand the amount of fantasy movies in comparison.
I was
with
gonna say
animation
with
series
TV,
or movies, right? You have Lord of the Rings,
what makes
Harry
Game of
Potter,
Thrones
and then what?
so good? What makes Game of Thrones so good and surprising when it came out is because the idea we had of fantasy on TV was Hercules and Xena and stuff.
Mm.
You know, at least that sword and sandal or sword and medieval ancient type witches and stuff, and Merlin and Merlin the TV show, right?
Right.
It's not bad if you're a fantasy fan.
Yeah,
But
in
it's
more recent
not,
times, there's been a change
yeah.
in the game with Game of Thrones, right? The past 10 years.
Yes.
So.
But that's why Game of Thrones was so good too. That's what made people who don't watch it,
Until the big
watch it.
division with the finale, apparently, which I still haven't seen yet. I still need to see the
Don't.
last
It's fine.
season.
Don't have to. You don't have to.
I will at some point when I manage to access it somehow, but
Yeah, and you're gonna watch it and finish it. And you're gonna be like, okay.
sure.
By the way, why can't we go anywhere right now?
Yeah, you have to drag something there, no? It's a type of platform that's
Yeah, I
in
know.
that statue over there or whatever. Is that a statue? No, that's a NPC. Or maybe you don't have the thingy-majigger.
Oh, I have to defeat 11 enemies. Hold on. Let's find some enemies.
Okay. Always good. Oh, maybe you can spit fire to the turtle and kind of.
But that's what I did, but it won't move beyond that point.
Move beyond that thing. Okay. No.
Yeah. So there should
I'm
be another
half
turtle there.
So I'm sorry if I'm
No,
just
me too.
repeating stuff that. Okay, never mind.
Me too. I'm only half paying attention. Can I go in the water? I don't think so.
I think.
Oh, in the,
you will
oh, I
die,
know where I
but-
gotta go. I know where I gotta go because now I can swim. I know.
You can?
I know. Hold on. Yeah, I
Good
know.
for you.
We have to go here. There we go.
So Loki,
Yeah,
you're
that's what we
enjoying
gotta
so
do.
far, and then the other movie.
Enjoying very much. Yes, I'm enjoying the scenes as well in Loki.
Mm.
And by scenes, I mean the dialogue, conversations,
Mm.
the setting
Yeah, the
as
writing
well.
and the performances are
Um,
definitely enjoyable.
Very good.
Sure, yeah.
And Tom Hiddleston is phenomenal. I think he's better in Loki in the TV show than he is in the movies.
He really grew
Of course, the
into
character has
his
evolved,
role,
but
and
absolutely.
it's a pleasure to see that, yeah.
Especially after Taika Waititi or after Thor Ragnarok. I think the character Loki
He
took
had
a little bit of a different
something
turn,
going on,
but for
starting.
well,
What's the one with the Dark Elves? Thor 2.
Dark World.
Dark World. Despite that movie not being that great or special, I think Tom Hiddleston's performance
I like it.
was he was starting to nail down the character in his very signature-esque way.
Yeah.
While in the first movie and in the Avengers movie, although I think his
It was an
performance in the first
introduction.
Avengers movie was better
Yeah.
than the Thor movie. Still.
I'll say that the Thor of the Avengers and the first is more true to the comics, and the comics character of Loki and Thor are very different from what you see on TV, including even if you take the Ultimate Marvel Universe, Thor and Loki,
Okay.
they're still quite different from the MCU. So for me, from the get-go, I knew it was a reimagination of the character. Not even an adaptation, because you're not adapting it, you're taking it from a different...
I see.
You're creating something new. It's a new Thor.
Yeah.
I mean, he
makes
still
sense.
loves beer and
guess,
has a dry
yeah.
sense of humor for some things, but... il fait le con un petit peu, but it's still nice. Yeah, enjoying Loki very much. Especially the dramatic stuff. Some of it.
Yeah.
You know, take the stairs to the left.
Mm-hmm.
That part, I never thought about it that way. You know, it was really, really good. I mean, I'm really enjoying. Disney Plus is worth it, especially for $20 for a year. Not even 20. Yeah, about.
Have
about
you watched
20 bucks for a
anything
year.
else on Disney Plus? Like.
Yes. Okay. Now let's get to this.
Star
This is where I
Wars
disagree with
series
you.
or-
No, Marvel shit. Let's stay on
Marvel
this
shit.
page.
Okay.
Cause I was very curious about Captain Marvel. So my story with Captain Marvel is that I had a feeling that when it came out between Endgame, and Infinity War, right? It was sandwiched between the two movies. Right before Endgame, especially. That's why I didn't go watch it, because I wanted to just go straight to Endgame. And I don't feel that curious for the MCU Captain Marvel, because I knew it was very different from the comics, so I wasn't that curious or interested, right?
Is it? Okay.
A little bit, yeah. Carol Danvers is quite different in the comics. A lot more selfish and dark. Not inherently good. Just, good most of the time. Or good because, she, how do you say it? Teams up with the right people sometimes. Anyway, the one in the movie, I had super low expectations for Captain Marvel, and that's why I didn't want to travel an hour and a half to go watch it in English with subtitles and then travel an hour and a half back. You know what I mean?
What? Because you had to travel to go see in the movies? Is this what we're still talking about?
I have to, yeah, exactly.
I
have to go far to watch movies in English.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because I have to go to Rayong to watch something in English.
Okay.
With Thai subtitles.
Sure.
So I had low expectations for the movie. I was like, this is going to be shit anyway. It's going to be one of those I'm not going to enjoy. It's going to be one of those that probably Rotten Tomatoes is going to give great reviews because there's a chick on the cover. I'm exaggerating, by the way.
It was actually the other way around.
On the cover.
But yes.
Yeah. But shit, I took the wrong thing again. What I'm trying to say is that I had low expectations for it until I talked to you. From the things that you told me about the movie, it changed my expectations.
Really? What did I say?
The things that our friend Jack, you talked about the stuff that it explores. I have zero idea what the plot was. I hadn't watched any trailers as well. I just had a gut feeling that it was going to be that I wasn't going to enjoy it. And then I talked to you, and you told me about some things in there. I talked to our good friend Jack. And he told me, it's set in the 90s, it's pretty cool, feels like there's a little, it gets that nostalgia itch, right? Scratches that nostalgia itch.
From 90s perspective, yes.
Yeah, if you grew up in
the
90s. It's retro now, yeah, I know.
Period movie,
Yeah. It's pretty funny. I saw it on Netflix today. It was like retro TV, and I'm like, "There's how there. That shit's 15 years old. It's 10 years old. Yeah, that's not retro TV, but I guess the style is. Anyway. And then, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna give. I wasn't in a rush to watch Captain Marvel, but I gave it a shot, right?
Sure.
Let's watch it. I didn't like the movie though. I think it's one of the worst MCU movies, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I know. I surprised myself.
One of the worst Marvel movies.
Dude. Yeah, the one that I enjoyed the least. I am very angry at myself and surprised that I didn't enjoy it. I'm like, dude, why didn't you enjoy it? I'm upset.
So what do you
the
think
first
that
one?
Is, then?
I know exactly what it is. I'm gonna shit all over Captain Marvel. And I hope that after I say this, it's not gonna change the way you feel about it. My perspective, right?
I doubt it, but give it a try, yeah.
Okay, so what I really like about Captain Marvel is that the things that it does well, it does very, 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 very well. For example, the whole thing with the cat. I thought that was really funny.
The
Flurkle
or whatever.
Flurkin, yeah, exactly. That thing. I thought that was really funny. So along those lines, those little funny things, or that scene where they're like downloading the data, they're just waiting in the office. Like, what's going on? Why isn't it playing? And Fury's like, yeah, it's downloading. You know? Little things like that were funny. The problem is that if I put all of the qualities of the movie together that I enjoyed specifically for a movie that came out in 2019, there's 5 or 8 minutes of footage in there that I enjoyed, objectively speaking. and they're all just moments sandwiched between boring shit.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, that's how I see it. But I'll be more specific later. You know, just generally speaking. The other thing was that I liked was looking at the scrolls from the perspective of being refugees, right? People without a home and blah 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 blah. I mean, they have a home, but at least this part, this group of scrolls, has no home, right? They're like Palestinians in Lebanon or something, just trying, you know, get help. Because in the Marvel comics universe, Scrolls bad, especially in recent history. Yeah, exactly.
So it's a clever take on it.
Yeah, I liked it. It was a good surprise. You know, I thought that when the guys were, you know, undercover and stuff, that this is the beginning of the Skrull invasion. You know, this is how it starts. It's with this guy, and maybe it is. Maybe this whole refugee thing in the MCU is just a plot, so they can get what they want later. It would be nice, wouldn't it? I think it would be a cool thing to play. Get the Earthlings people going in the wrong direction. Aside from that, almost everything else I didn't enjoy. I thought it was very recycled material. It felt very hollow. More shit in the desert with spaceships. A very small town, or a background of the town, the setting of the 90s, barely noticeable. Plays very little part in the movie. And I had the same feeling of it being like small and boring, like in the first Thor movie. First Thor movie, Asgard and stuff, amazing, all that shit, right?
So disagree with you, but okay.
Okay, great. I'm glad you do. But the scene where that, you know, robot shows up and destroys half the town, blah 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 blah. I got the same feeling. It's the same setting as Mars Attacks and Roswell, and but I get it because it's an air base in that part of the world, so it makes sense. But just for me, I wasn't happy to see that setting. That's all. And the whole thing with her, turns out they were using her. They weren't protecting her. They were only protecting her so they can use her in the future and turn her into a soldier. Blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, that concept is so overused in general that it wasn't even surprising. The delivery was, there was no surprise in the delivery.
Okay.
And that like, at least if you're gonna recycle some shit, at least make the delivery different or new. Make me enjoy it. Make that the novelty. So not the premise, but the premise or the story or the reveal, right? That's the reveal in this movie. Turns out she's got unlimited power. Unlimited power! But I didn't like the whole thing. Turns out that the guy who mentored you was, spoiler alert, was the bad guy. I could not care less. All the plot surprises. I think the plot in Captain Marvel is so thin, especially when it comes to the heroine, I guess, and to her, and the journey of the hero. Blah 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 blah. I was bored. I was bored, and what disappoints me is that that movie came out in 2019. If it was one of the first Marvel movies, I thought it'd be pretty cool. I thought it would be alright. But MCU should know better, and I felt like they just saved the movie with the whole Skrull invasion space, not Skrull invasion, but the Skrulls undercover space stuff, and the Kree and all that. Even though it's got a very Star Trek movie feel to it, and I mean the new ones, right? And I just didn't enjoy it as much, man. I can't. I'm disappointed that I didn't enjoy it. Trust me.
Okay.
But you see what I mean? Coming from brain, you knowing me.
I guess.
There were no surprises, man. Wait, the thing with the turtle, does that mean that I already did it or not? Ah, no, it means I still have to do it. Sunny Beach, let's go.
I think the movie was fine. I think the movie was not like spectacular, but it wasn't that
It should have been fine.
disastrous.
That's the problem. It wasn't a disaster. I'm just
Okay.
saying, like, objectively, I get it. It's fine.
Mhm.
Personally,
Okay.
I can't. Maybe it's even at the. What are the worst MCU movies? Let's think about it. Iron Man 2 is a very cool first watch, but it gets pretty weak with time.
Yes.
I think. What are bad MCU movies?
The first Thor movie.
For me, it's right there. Captain Marvel is right there with the first Thor movie.
Mm.
I know, right?
I think Captain
Controversy.
Marvel is in the same range as the first Captain America.
How dare you
It's,
insult Steve Rogers like that?
it's trying to fit in all these subjects and iconographies of the character while setting up the stuff for the MCU. Because
But Steve Rogers is so much nicer to be around, man.
what?
Steve Rogers is so much nicer to be around.
I
You know what I mean?
I don't think either way. But okay.
Steve Rogers is one of my favorite Marvel characters, period. No
Mhm.
joke. And notice that I'm not saying Captain America, right?
Mhm.
Cap as well, obviously.
Uh-huh.
Steve Rogers is Cap as well.
Mhm.
But so that's why I don't mind watching Captain America.
Yeah.
It's corny in a
Personally
good way.
speaking, I in my type of enjoyment, I like Carol Danvers as much as Steve Rogers.
Ah, how dare you! Ah, the pain.
I don't get the negative reactions to the MCU's.
Oh, it's not negative.
Carol
It's just-
Danvers, like it's like a quest for identity, right? It's the classic
Yeah.
amnesia, and then after you find out
Yeah.
that you are amnesia, are you the new person or are you going
Yeah, or
back
the
to
old
the person
Yeah,
you
exactly.
were
That's
before?
why I have a problem with
And
it.
if you're
All the things
neither
they could have
one,
done, they do that.
you become a third different person, type of thing. And the range or the concept of power level of Captain Marvel is interesting to me because from a narrative standpoint, it has the same problematic as Superman. Like, what is the limit of those superpowers? And if those superpowers are limitless, how do you make the narrative still interesting? right?
That's where Carol Danvers in the Marvel comics is way more interesting. She's flawed.
I wouldn't know that because I
Heavily.
don't know the source material.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
Carol
no,
Danvers is as well flawed. She's not
Ah,
perfect.
she's flawed superficially. Yeah, she's
She
really
is?
cool.
No, she's like she's
No, no. I mean, in
hot-headed.
terms of
She
but in terms of values, you know,
in terms of
she's
values.
not as moral values. Like, it's not like you
Okay.
doubt when it's right or wrong for her. You know?
So from your experience, Carol Danvers in the source material more nuanced.
Yeah, a lot more. She'll do what she thinks is okay or right, but doesn't give a fuck if you like. And she'll all sorry. She
Gotcha.
will often serve herself first.
Put
More like Tony
herself
Stark.
first, really. Okay.
More like Tony Stark, but with the lesser conscience and more tired of people because of perspective, you know, and too much power. Bored. You know what I mean? She's bored.
Okay, that's not the feeling you
Yeah,
get from
exactly.
the
But
MCU one, yeah.
No, not at all. But that's not what bothered me about it. It's not because I'm comparing to the one. I'm not gonna go down the whole the book's better. No, that's not what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
In that sense, I'm just trying to say that I think Marvel, if they were gonna do something with Carol Danvers, they could have done way better than the hero who lost his
Amnesia?
thing. Who has amnesia and now has to find out who she is. Is she the old person, a new person? Now I have my memories back, but who the fuck am I?
Yes.
And also, Now
Okay.
I am going to. Turns out that the powers that I had that were amazing. Turns out that was just like barely the surface, right? I'm still yet to unlock my true potential. Cool with all that stuff. Cool. But why did you go for that when there's so much more you could have done?
Because they were establishing a character in between two big Avenger movies, right? And what I wanted
Yeah.
to point out is that the Carol Danvers we see in Avengers Endgame, for example, does have a different feeling to her, right? The Carol
Yes.
Danvers from the Captain Marvel movie, she's more optimistic, should we say, or more rambunctious. And Captain Marvel in Endgame, she's a bit more serious.
Well, she's seen some shit now, you know.
Exactly.
So puts
So
that in
maybe
perspective.
the nuanced Captain Marvel
like that one more.
you are expecting will be developed in
No.
further MCU
Was because I already saw it in Endgame.
entries, and also in her next movie, in her second movie. Yes, but
Yeah.
the Carol Danvers from Captain Marvel is like in the 90s, and the Carol Danvers from Avengers Endgame is 2019 or whatever, however
she's older.
the timeline works in the MCU. So there's been like at least 20 to 30 years of stuff that has happened. So it's maybe the Carol Danvers of quote unquote the present is similar to the one you would be more keen.
Yeah. I didn't like her
on?
origin story. I didn't think it was worth it to make a whole movie about this.
Oh wow.
I've done it in 20
okay.
minutes. Yeah. That's how I'm feeling about it. And like I said earlier, I feel bad that I feel like this. Why am I so bitter about this stupid movie, you know?
I don't know. Why do you think that is?
Exactly. I don't know. I have a problem with I like surprises, and when I don't get my surprises, I get upset. Or when I have certain expectations.
Sure.
That was my problem.
Captured most of our baby turtles, and the boxes they put them in are encrypted.
But yes, apparently there's another of those comments asking you if you want to become famous and by followers
Yes.
and viewers.
No. Fame's bad. I don't want to lose my friends.
Mm.
You know why?
Huh?
Famous people get busy. Often. Or I would just like not change anything about my life.
Hmm.
Like zero. Everything stays the same.
Hmm.
What'd you do with all that money? I bought land. What'd you do with the land? Nothing. It's just there. Because that way the banks can't use my
This
money
is
for their
your
stupid
land.
investments. That's what I'm
This is
saving.
my land, and this is our land. Wait,
Where are
this
those
is
stupid
my
boxes,
land.
Lolo? How do we go up here?
I don't know. Why are you repeating this level for the third time?
I'm
Or
doing
fourth
new
time.
shit in the level.
Okay.
I'm new. Yeah. Oh, there are the boxes. Okay. Yeah, like I said, we're not paying attention to the game. We're repeating this level because
It's easier to talk about it that way.
yeah, I don't want to
Gotcha.
like, figure out where I have to go and stuff.
Something else. This week on Netflix, there's been also the release of Nightmare of the Wolf or something. The anime
Nightmare of
movie
the Wolf?
the anime movie of the Witcher series. On
Oh
Netflix.
right, it's coming now, or not yet?
It's been out since Monday.
Oh, I really want to watch that.
All right, so I haven't
Okay,
watched it
I
yet.
really want to watch that
And
because
I
I've been
won't
doing
say
the whole I've been doing the whole Disney Plus thing,
Right,
catching up.
Mm-hmm.
Watched Endgame 3 times. Kind of silly, but oi, little turtles, come here. Oh,
How
don't tell
do
me that.
you get those?
I have to destroy the boxes.
Wrong. You need to
Like-
get pizza.
What? Oh, right. Yeah. No.
And the boxes they put them in are incredibly strong.
The boxes. Yeah. We gotta use the fire thing to destroy the boxes.
Hmm.
And we have like, well, reopened how many? I think 7 turtles, 7 box, 4. We have to take 7. It doesn't say. Ah, fuck it. Let's just exit this level.
What did I say? Turtle Mutant Ninja Turtles. No, it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Teenage, yeah. Let's check something real quick.
But yes, over my side, I finished the Outer Worlds this morning, which was a playthrough I had from last year, but I put it on pause. And once
Why'd you
I
put it on
resumed
pause?
it, I had only
Because it
one
was
mission left.
garbage. Oh, you only have 1 mission left?
No, I actually
Out of
enjoyed
everything?
really a lot.
No. I mean the
The
first
Outer
time when you
Worlds.
turned it on the first time, before they fixed it. Like
Oh,
the
the
first
Switch
impression.
version, technically speaking, is
Ah,
unfortunately.
yes.
But I didn't play the Outer Worlds for its technical prowesses. Like, I don't think that's where the game shines, so to speak.
Right. So what did you enjoy about it?
The different ways to accomplish stuff. Like, it's not always about the fight. It's decent,
Isn't it
competent
great, the dialogue?
RPG in that way. Like, for example, the dialogue, or the engineering, or the mechanical, or the hacking, or the science approach, which is what I did, as opposed to the fighting. And yeah, it kind of feels like a Firefly the video game type of thing.
Firefly New Vegas.
Firefly, New Vegas, Rick and Morty, Guardians of the Galaxy. I get all that vibe in that game.
Ah, I got this token. Nice.
And finished Monster Hunter Series 2 last week. And just started a playthrough of Inside. That indie game, side scroller. I think I'll be done with that game today or tonight, because that game doesn't seem very long.
Right.
It's a game you can finish in 3 hours or less, it seems. And been playing a lot of D&D with my brother. And yes.
Idle Springs. Where's Idle Springs?
Later on, in half an hour, I'm gonna hang out with my brother again on Discord and do a little stream on SWATOR. We started a playthrough this week, and we're trying to see if we can do at least 1 or 2 episodes per week, where we
Ah, that'd be so good.
both jump into the game and
The bros.
yeah.
Broing
If
together
you're
over
interested,
Star Wars.
I have the first stream on Twitch still. It's a bit long.
Please don't waste it. Like don't forget that it's. Oh, you have auto uploads, right?
What do you mean?
Like it's gonna go on your YouTube channel at some point, isn't it?
Doesn't go automatically to my YouTube channel, no. But I have
Okay, so please
a
don't forget to upload it in case I wanna watch
recorded
it.
version
In your PC.
on my PC drive, which I will be uploading. Yeah. Something I tried to do is to stream on Twitch from my phone earlier this week, and it didn't work, or it didn't stay archived.
It's
on
funny
Twitch.
because Fasai said the same thing. She said she tried to stream on her phone, it didn't work so well. I'm not sure if the phone is more of a streaming tool for people who want to use the phone as a camera.
Like a vlog, yeah.
Yeah.
Type of shit.
So I'm not too sure about that for the just chatting and section.
Because I wanted to... I think it's gonna be difficult for me to do a stream on Knights of the Old Republic, the PC version, because the PC version...
Of KOTOR, not SWTOR. Right?
Yes. So the original classic RPG from BioWare, no. Granddaddy of BioWare goodness. Well, not really. The granddaddy of BioWare goodness would be Baldur's Gate, I guess. But yes.
Idle Springs. Let's go.
And I'm still catching up on Critical Roles. I'm currently on episode 44 of the second campaign.
Have you caught up to present time on Critical Role?
No, I'm still in 2018 or late 2018 or early 2019.
Have you gone past the point?
I'm past the
first
point
half?
of Thanksgiving of 2018.
Are you past the first half?
44 episodes out of 130, so no.
You're good, man. It's nice when you still have like that much time.
120.
You can just keep watching it for months still.
Yeah. I'm not binge watching the second campaign the same way I did the first campaign. The first campaign of Vox Machina, like I was almost watching Critical Role like 24/7. Like I wake up, it's on, even if it's like just a Spotify podcast type of thing, where I just listen while I'm doing breakfast or other stuff.
Dude, you were so into it that you would share stuff with us. I'm not talking about like some clips that were funny and stuff, but like inside jokes. You forgot that they were in jokes for people who watch Critical Role all the time or keep up with it. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, this dude's been watching this a lot.
They were funny on their own, like they could.
Sure, no, you did a lot of them, but sometimes there'd be things there where I'm like, why is he sending me this? Like after I watch it, he knows I don't watch Critical Role, but it's a bit like when you tell a.
That's why I also toned it down, because I felt like no one cared. Yeah.
I did care when they were funny, but then sometimes stuff like that, I think, share it anyway, because you don't know if we're gonna watch it or not. Like I don't put there when I share stuff. It's not like, yo, watch this now. It's like, if you want to watch this, I enjoyed this. You might as well. If not, you know, it's like a just silly recommendation, you know, to go on the never-ending list that we want to consume, right? With games, movies, and TV series that we have to catch up on, because they're a must.
Right.
But I got that shit a lot with, for example, MMA stuff and boxing stuff. Like I'm in that world so much sometimes that I forget regular people are not in it. Right. Like you mentioned stuff like they have no idea, like someone doesn't know what Muay Thai is and you have to explain like what they use like, you know what I mean? It's like it's like explaining an RPG to your grandma, right? Explain World of Warcraft to your grandma. That'd be funny. Right? How old's your grandma again? She's 90, right?
I haven't
Something
tried
like
with my grandma, but actually managed to convince my parents to start a campaign with my brother, and our last game was actually last night.
Yeah, but Dungeons and Dragons, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different. It's also of their generation.
The RPG, yes. The role-playing game per excellence.
The RPG. Yeah.
But yes.
But Critical Role is
It's a
something
rabbit
that
hole.
I'm afraid I would. Yeah, I'm afraid I'd get too
An
into
absolute
it.
rabbit
It's
hole.
too much. I don't have time
It's a different
for
world.
new things.
There's a
Dude,
whole
I almost. I
community.
told you I almost got into Magic the Gathering when I was in Denmark.
Yeah.
Because of my
It's
my flatmates. They
similar
were.
vibe,
That's where I
definitely.
got to know Critical Role, and I actually enjoyed it very much. I watched it when it was on, and they were watching it, so it became a thing that like everybody in the house would do. Like when everyone's in the living room, you bet there's either Magic the Gathering on the big TV on YouTube, or Critical Role, or those comic books that I sent you where people act it out and read it. Motion comic books, some people call it. Some of them are stills, but some are actually in motion. So that was on all the time. If everyone's in the living room or in the house, that's always playing, those types of things. So I really have a good... when you sent me the first few clips of Critical Role, I got a jolt in my heart, you know? Like bam, like a immediate
It felt
flashback
familiar
to,
from those days. Okay, yeah.
yeah, and it was good, man. It was bittersweet in a way, but it was really cool, and I wanted to keep watching it.
Right.
I was like, but man, if I get into Critical Role now, there's hundreds of hours of this shit.
Yeah. Probably more. There's probably thousands of
But
hours.
I might because I really like the people. Because you get to see actors
that's what makes
both as
everything.
voice
Honestly,
actors and as themselves.
I've peeked into other Dungeons and Dragons streams and captures, and it's really not the same. The cast of Critical Role and the I don't want to say expertise, but like the
Dude,
like,
they do role playing for a living. They're voice
yeah,
actors.
they're
so-
voice actors, and
So
the
it's
DM
like-
included. So they come up with
Yeah.
such performances and creative ways to go around, like creative solutions to go around problems within the game. And
But it's so
Matthew
cool to see
Marker
three
is
facets
such a
of them, man.
dedicated DM that he really crafts the world building in a very like exciting way. Like you believe that world, you believe those characters. It's
Well, we also have a wild sense of imagination, but you know,
yeah.
and we're familiar with the lingo. What I really like about Critical Role is that it lets the people in it be three different people at the same time, in a way that usually you don't see actors or performers be, because they are
Yeah, it's
being
really like a acting workshop
they're being-
in a way.
yeah, but they're being D&D players, you know, and they're being voice actors
Yeah.
and themselves, and they're taking turns doing that all the time within the show. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
But it has a very hangout with friends vibe, and for
Oh,
me
yes.
that's dangerous sometimes. For me, you get too into it. You know? You start feeling like you're in the room as well.
Virtual friendship.
Yeah,
Friendship that
very
you
well
interact
said.
from a window shop.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
passive.
I understand what
You
you
know
mean.
all these things about these people, and okay, gotta
Yeah.
be easy.
Sparrow, you're pretty tough.
Yeah.
If you ever want to
Yeah,
break
that
it
got me
down,
thinking. I kind of sometimes I think I kind of outgrew living with other people, and I enjoy living by myself. But I would love if I had to again share a house with more people, like 3 or 4 people. I would love for it to be able to have an environment where we could all get together once per week and have a custom D&D
Yeah.
campaign. I'm working on a custom D&D campaign right now, but I'm taking my sweet ass time on it. I'm running 3 campaigns as a DM right now. One is like a proper preset campaign from the Forgotten Realms, the original world building from Dungeons and Dragons. And two others are basically a hybrid improvised. So it's for me a workshop to train my improvisation skills, how I come up with creative solutions in the moment with according to what my players decide to do. And
I love doing stuff like that.
it really the part of your brain that gets activated during these type of hobbies or activities is it's good. Like it feels like somehow it gets neglected with how life in general plays out, and it feels good to stretch those metaphorical legs.
Do you feel really like it gets proper neglected?
Yes,
as opposed
I
to
do.
ignored
I do.
or not paid attention to? Oh, okay.
Or
That's
at
different
least
for everybody. You know?
it used to be in a more general way, but nowadays I think there's it's more acceptance. That type of mindset.
Right. I think it's really good to explore hobbies that really tap into your creativity,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it might be.
Mm-hmm.
Like even if it's just like coloring.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you don't like drawing, you just want to relax.
Yeah.
Even coloring is. You'll say, yeah, we're not drawing shit. No, you pick the colors.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can pick whatever color you like to color this section. Or you don't even have to play by the rules. You can do many colors in one section and cross lines like a toddler. You know, like somebody who puts pineapple on pizza. Because you should do coloring properly. But no, if you don't wanna, it's okay. You know, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know something funny? Why do they call it adult coloring? You've seen those, right? Adult coloring books.
Mm.
Have you seen those?
Nope.
What? Really?
Really?
Yeah, they're like coloring books, but for adults. To relax, you know? It's so funny because coloring is the thing that if to an adult you would say to a dummy, hey, psh, you, shut up, relax, go do some coloring.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's treating
That's
like a
the
child.
connotation it has, yeah.
Generally, yeah, right? If you have a dumb friend, he's like, oh, that guy's an asshole. Like, what do? You steal your coloring book? You know? That's... yeah, why do they call it adult coloring?
Maybe
Like
it's got
coloring
mature
for
content.
adult.
I don't know.
Not really. I mean, that's what I would guess at first, but it didn't. There was no mature content. Oh, hold on. Do you really want to go here?
Parental guidance. This coloring book has explicit content.
Yeah, you can go to the 16th chapter. The 17th and the 16th. You can go to the Sistine Chapel and watch some mature
Can you
content
imagine?
as well if you want.
You can only
I
enter
love
the
that.
chapel if you're above 18.
Well, you know, there was a controversy that when
Really?
Arab officials or important people came to visit, went to Paris, to the Louvre, and the garden of the Louvre outside. I don't want to talk out of my ass, but I don't remember. I remember the controversy more than what happened.
Okay.
I don't remember if they actually covered the statue's body parts or not.
Really?
But I remember that they were considering it, and that there was
Okay.
controversy about it. For example, you know that scene in Django when they're having dinner? The scene where there's the reveal of the characters and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Then at one point, I think it's either in the dinner or DiCaprio goes with Samuel Jackson to the office and they break everything down. In the background, there's a statue of two men wrestling, like like Greek style, you know,
Sure.
like old school.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful statue, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you do feel the motion of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when I went to Lebanon and I was on the airplane on the way back, I watched Django. But that scene's blurred out. Not the scene, the background is blurred out. It's just like a white blur on the background. Because it's two naked men wrestling. But yeah, mature content, right?
Sure. It kind of looks like the
Aku Aku, right?
the weird mask, wooden mask spirit from Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, I think it's inspired on it. They might do a crossover of Spyro
And Crash Bandicoot?
in the future.
I can see that.
It'd be funny.
That makes sense, I
They
guess.
already did for Crash Team Racing. There's Spyro dedicated levels. It gets sold together in a bundle.
Yeah.
One
And
trilogy got a
didn't
remaster. The other
Spyro
trilogy got a
also
remaster.
crossover with Skylanders or whatever it was. I think.
I don't know. I didn't play that much Spyro as a kid.
Oh no, I've never touched it. I just remember like the whole marketing, like
We didn't.
the video
we get
game
this
stores
thing?
full
No.
of those little toys. Yeah. Alright.
Okay, we did get everything. So what are we missing here?
I don't know. Are you trying to completionish this game, or do you need to?
No, I just want to move on.
Reach a
But I think I
certain-
have to do more in the levels.
Ah, okay.
We did go to Sunny Beach. We did get the talisman thingy, but
I don't know.
Hockey versus goalie, Idle Springs, Glimmer 47%. We got the talisman. Okay, we got all the talisman, right? I think we didn't get one in here. Ah, but this is the world summer forest, so. So now I have no idea what we gotta do. And we're back to Alfonso just playing games, not knowing what he's got to do. That's the usual. I think when you get the statue it shows, yeah. So why do we need more turtle thingies? Ah, we also need the ability to climb and stuff, which we haven't unlocked yet. And I don't know where to unlock. Why is Spyro 2 so confusing? Spyro, the first Spyro was so straightforward. You know, I'm 30, I'm not 7. Intuition has been corrupted. Deduction has been hijacked. Okay, so Colossus we have 100%. I'm not going back to Sunny Beach. I'm not going back to this to Idle Springs. Let's see what we got here. By the way, don't you have to go soon?
Yeah.
In like 5 minutes?
Maybe this is a good place.
Is it a good time to leave it? To leave the hang? Alright. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that the content was entertaining. I hope it kept you company. Lolo is always good company.
Oh, likewise.
Yeah, but could you feel that I hesitated there for a moment? I love you, bitch. Yeah, I think we'll reconvene for something similar when I'm done with Loki.
Awesome.
And I have a rant about my computer if it doesn't pan out.
Right.
But a story for another time. A story for another
That
time.
is unfortunate.
Yeah,
and
it
very,
is unfortunate. Bad
to
timing.
say the least.
But yeah. But it's okay. Health is good. Family is good.
Mm.
Friends are good for the most part, I think. So fingers crossed for the rest of the world.
Hmm.
And on that note, mesdames et messieurs, I bid you to follow Dagon Kelverm on Twitch. He's got great stuff. Amazing SWATR series coming in, as you heard. With his brother, you know. As if one of them wasn't big enough nerd, they're gonna get the two of them together.
Always by two, a master and
Yeah.
apprentice.
Exactly. Never more, never less. And go check out Jack Reinhardt on Twitch. He's back, finally. And go to Jack and Papa on YouTube if you can catch up on all our old stuff. You just keep uploading it over there. If it's not on Twitch, it's there. If it's not there, it's on Twitch. Usually like that. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
And on that note, au revoir. Mwah.
Bye.
All right.